All right, that was 1 block of my cream cheese into my 13 by 9. I'm next coming in with an entire bag of our beautiful egg noodles, just like so. I'm using that entire bag of our egg noodles. Just make sure they're nice and evenly distributed. I'm next coming in with some Baby Bella mushrooms. I love using the Baby Bella mushrooms. They're one of my favorite kinds, but you can feel free to do any kind of mushroom you'd like. I'm coming in with some white slivered onions. Again, feel free to use whatever kind of onions you want and whatever kind of cut. I feel that with the yellow and the white, they just are best for cooking versus raw, just into our 13 by 9. I'm next coming in with our Campbell's condensed family size cream of mushroom soup. And I'm just gonna go right on over into our 13 by 9. You could also do a cream of chicken, but I think with the mushrooms and this recipe is just gonna be super tasty. We're going in with that entire can of our Campbell's cream of mushroom. I'm next coming in with our beef shaved steak. I just found this at my local grocery store, and what I'm gonna be doing is just popping those right into our 13 by 9. Just like so. Ooh, it almost has like a pastrami texture. You can feel free to do kind of any meat you'd like with this recipe, but I think it's very indicative of this classic recipe with our thinly shaved. You can see super thin, super delicious, just like so. All right, we cannot forget our seasonings. I'm going in with some thyme. I love using thyme in its entirety. So I'm going in with that entire box, and it's just gonna season our entire dish. And we just gotta make sure that we pull them out once everything's nice and cooked. I have our vegetable broth. You can also feel free to do a beef broth or a chicken broth. But we wanna just make sure that those noodles are covered that we put in. I'm using, like I said, the egg noodles. You can feel free to do any kind of style of noodles. I think with this recipe, which I'm kind of doing a spin on a classic recipe, egg noodles are typically used, and I'm going in with that entire thing of our vegetable broth. And just to add some extra richness, I'm coming in with some heavy whipping cream. And I'm just gonna go over with maybe about a cup on top of our beautiful 13 by 9, just like so. I'm curious if anybody in the comments can guess and see what we're making, but what we've created is gonna be delicious. I love making this during the week. It's a super easy one pan meal. We're just gonna place a cover on it and pop it into our oven at 325 for about an hour. All right, our beef stroganoff inspired dish is ready. All right, we're gonna go ahead and unveil this. Woo! It smells so delicious. Nothing looks burnt or overcooked. Those noodles, perfectly cooked. So I just like to keep the thyme in there just for an additional little flavor. So we'll go ahead and take those out, just like so. Oh, it's a little hot, so just be careful. But they just make that broth and everything just taste so good when they're incorporated. Delicious. I'm gonna take my little tongs. Ooh, our cream cheese is perfectly melted. We're just gonna start combining everything together. Our heavy whipping cream, our condensed soup. Ooh, I love stroganoff. It's one of my favorite meals. I love making different varieties of it too. I make a really great vegetarian one, obviously the traditional one. And this is just kind of an easy way to do that too, where it's just a one pot, set it and forget it. Delicious. Now that I have everything mixed, I did let it set a little so that I can get a little firmer. I'm coming in with some just fresh chopped parsley all over top of our beautiful little stroganoff, just for some added freshness and some color. And of course, some Parmesan cheese. I'm going right on over, just like so. Ooh, perfect. I always recommend letting it sit for a couple minutes just so everything kind of gets all nice and beautiful and it gets a little thicker. You can see our pasta perfectly cooked. Our mushrooms, ooh, so delicious. Those egg noodles, if you could smell this right now, it smells so delicious. Perfect for a potluck, weeknight meal, and I hope you enjoy.